Oseo.
Oseo.
Good. That's a Cherokee greeting. We're in the month of March, and March is Woman's Her Story Month. And tomorrow, being Monday, Moon Day, is designated as International Women's Day. That designation was made by Nancy Pelosi, I understand. And so that's my theme, that's what we're going with. Last week I started actually like that, but that particular film that we did hasn't showed up yet. So I'll just pick it up right here. If we go over here to, this is my honoring shield for Representative Deb Haaland. And she is President Biden's nominee for the Secretary of the Department of Interior. And she is the first woman, the first Native American woman to have this designation, this office there. And you can see on one side behind her, that's the New Mexico symbol for the sun. And then on the other side you see the Great Star Nation, the banner of that. And you see she's wearing the squash blossom necklace there with her. And the whole shield, I've surrounded it with a Cherokee wreath. And then she is surrounded by the Great Star Nation. So that's all the way that we are beginning. In the beginning, woman was the sun, and she still is. And she shines for woman to uncover her creative. That is the theme that we start with. Now we can go right here to this. This is my drawing, a drawing of woman, and it's to correspond with the exhibit that my drawings were just in. I was 2 or 3 or 4 of my drawings in Nevada at a gallery that is called the Sierra Arts Foundation Depot. Depot meaning it was an old train station that they have refurbished and turned into a gallery. Now the Sierra Arts Foundation has awarded me various grants in the past for being an artist in the public schools in the classroom. So this is that kind of gallery. It was a group exhibit, and so with that the name of the exhibit is, quote, "It's all about the body." And my artist statement that I submitted with my drawings is what I'm going to read right now. The Wondrous Body by Carlos Werner. The human body is the bearer of all that exists. Woman's body, the vessel of possibility, font of mythical origins, container of her generative organ, continues to evolve and manifest generations of glowing skins, unwrapping and revealing intimate visions of creation, ever flexing the undulating eros that inhabits her bodily contours like a serpent-governed muscle. The body of man is true in its architecture and all, with shifts of strong and soft features. He can just as well bear a subtle body. But her body, as body, is luminous. No matter her complexion, from marble to ebony, no matter her nature, from fire to ice, she is the living organ, ever and in all ways, a dramatic wonder, creating life. So very much of this will be her body. One of the first ones I want to show is right here, if you can focus right here. This is a formation of tufa. It is out of Pyramid Lake. Pyramid Lake is her body. And she gives forth, these forms, that suggest her in this one. I have mounted as her body. If you can just look down here for a minute, this is Earth Woman with her attribute, Little Sao, Setula. She's on standby for this month. And behind her, this is a little Navajo sand painting. This is Grasshopper Girl. She is the parthenogenic factor. She is what makes woman woman. She is metamorphosis. She is the germinator. She is the recessive double. So, then we can go over here to this. This is a little oil painting. It was done by a San Francisco artist in the early 1900s, Joseph Dinezek, and it is said that this was his marriage partner that he painted. I've collected this and I'm displaying it in view to say her body, the woman's body. Now let me read a piece to go along with this. This photo here is Alicia Songoy, and she's the royalty principal at the Nevada powwow that was in Carson a couple of years ago. But it suits this reading. A woman's win. When I sing, it can help her. Yeah, it can. Yeah, it is so strong. When I sing, it can raise her. Yeah, it can. Yeah, it is so strong. When I sing, her arms get straighter. Yeah, it can. Yeah, it is so strong. When I sing, her body grows taller. Yeah, it can. Yeah, it is so strong. Nothing is stronger than her. When I sing, yeah, she can, yeah, it is so strong. Oh. Now we'll just look down here. You can see this is the head, ostensibly we would say, of a goddess. It is from India. It's roughly 1,000 years old. It certainly is female. Easy to say that she would be a Hindu goddess. So I've collected that so that resonates with all this. In India, there doesn't seem to be any limitation in the saturation of the divinity of woman. Now the next thing we're going to go to is here. If you can focus up here, this hoop. Now, hoops in Native America are just as ubiquitous as crystals. There's hoops of every kind of wood or wide, from very little to very large enough for a person to pass through or sit in. It's used in many different ways, but hoop is everywhere in Native America. This is an example of a hoop like that has looks like made of willow and rawhide net. These have become very popular, any form of these, with the Americans, with the public, being called dream catchers. As far as I know, I think that originated with the Ojibwe, being called dream catchers. And this is my example to say, this is a hoop. Tatanka Chiglesia is a Lakota name for a hoop that has a network of rawhide. And somehow a hoop like this is also used as a game. I don't know the details of that, but that's the idea we're talking about of a hoop. Now this hoop here, this is a special one. This is really, in my context here, a symbol. It is a symbol of woman's transformation. Woman's transformation and her re-transformation. This is made by a Sari woman. That's whom I have received it from. And you can see that it is wrapped in red yarn. And here, these are fish vertebrae. Here, this is all symbolic. And then these beads are actually tiny little spiral seashells. And then you have it finished here with these shorebird white feathers. So the whole thing is about the transformation and retransformation of a woman. The first transformation of the woman is when Coyote comes into her and she becomes Coyote. And in that there is a change. I figure it as a somersault. And so this piece that is hanging down with the bird down is that in this transformation the woman is, as if we would say, upside down. She's upside down, and through that she is going to change from Coyote into her deific self. That is the goddess who is herself. And if we go down here to this crystal, that here I portrayed this, since we would conceive of her shining in the woman in her transformation like a crystal, and in this crystal there is the hologram of a winged goddess. Now the winged goddess has been around for a very, very long time, hundreds if not thousands of years, back in the Mediterranean. The earliest one that I think of is Ishtar, and she's the goddess of love and fertility, and she is portrayed as winged. The Greeks also portrayed the winged goddess as Artemis and others. So very much that is the illustration that I have there for that. So I would call that, a woman, first, she is not herself. Original woman is not who she was at first. So we would say, what is woman's desire in her heart of hearts is her sovereignty. So, and that is exactly the case that we're looking at for this whole season of woman. And with that, I have a poem from Mary Oliver. This poem is titled Blossom. In April, the ponds open like black blossoms. The moon swims in every one. There is fire everywhere. Frogs shouting their desire, their satisfaction. What we know, that time chops at us all like an iron hoe, that death is a state of paralysis. What we long for, joy before death. Nights in the swale, everything else can wait, but not the thrust from the root of the body. What we know, we are more than blood. We are more than our hunger, and yet we belong to the moon. And when the ponds open, when the burning begins the most thoughtful among us dreams of hurrying down into the black petals, into the fire, into the night, where time lies shattered into the body of another.